this morning, 7 secrets of men's morning routines to help you guys get up and achieve the biggest milestones in your life. This morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle repeats, blood flow.
Nobody is expecting, John.
If the lady's saying that, you're just
That's a super
Entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep's been good? Is that
There we go. Good morning, everybody. We're back at it. Friday at the Loop. You got Keith Billis over here. Yes, sirree, baby. You got John Anderson over there. You got Christopher Martin, C. Marty Fit over there. The 3 guys who bring you Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. I'm the guy named Keith, the handsome chief, with you guys this morning. We got producer Jimmy on the buttons, hanging out with us every single day, bringing you the great quality production you guys come to expect here on this morning show. We got Tommy. Tommy's in the community interacting with all of you. And my hands are going nuts this morning, baby. We brought the energy here today. We're digging into the secrets of successful morning routines. And it all starts with avoiding the snooze button first thing in the morning. You hit that snooze button, you're 9 minutes behind everybody else. So get your ass up, guys, and get going. I invite you to get up. We got a big announcement coming up this morning. If you're shooting for a goal, you got to stop, man. Goals, Johnny, goals are for losers. Yes, all of you guys that are shooting for goals, you're all losers. You heard me correctly. You got to stop shooting for goals, because if you're a goal setter, you're a fucking loser. This is true story here this morning. Mornings in the Lab. We're going to get into it in a couple of moments, guys. Listen, this is an explicit show. So if you don't like to hear F-bombs, S-bombs, B-bombs, go somewhere else. If you want to hear content, it's going to help you get your ass in bed, rock and roll, get after it. Good morning, Jeremy Cunningham. Good to see you here in the comments. But I'm telling you guys, this show is all about good, positive content. But we do like to drop content and language that might offend somebody. So if you got some children, again, I invite you to put some headsets on or walk them out and tell them not to go for goals, because goals are for losers. Jimmy, let's bring in John and Marty. I think they're going to line up with me here, because I know that they are not goal setters themselves.
I got to jump right into the conversation. So my definition of a loser is someone who quits.
Yes. Well, Johnny, I know you're going to love Johnny.
The goal, I'm with you. I don't like the goal either, because the goal is distraction.
Well, you know what? You taught me this. You, my friend, you taught me this. Because you taught Marty and I, you're like, fuck the weekdays. Fuck the years, man. We live in a loop. And then I started thinking to myself, well, when we shoot for goals, what does the goal mean, Marty? Oh, I want to get a 6-pack by the time I go to the fucking beach. Well, you hit your goal and you're done. You're done. No. Stop fucking shooting for goals, everybody. You want to get a milestone. I know Johnny's goal is to live forever. Marty's goal is to live. So is my goal. So let's shoot for milestones, nation. Milestones. Johnny.
But loser would be, I believe, the wrong tag.
Yeah.
Someone, because here's the thing. The loser, there's a simple definition. This is one of my favorite ones right here.
Yeah.
The difference between a winner and a loser. When a loser falls down, he stays down.
Yes.
A winner never stays down, so he never loses. It's so simple. You will be a winner if you get up one more time than you fall down. That's the formula.
Boom.
One more time.
I love that, pal. I was having some fun with language this morning, because I want people to stop thinking about goals, because when you think about a goal, Marty, you're thinking about the end. And when you think about an end, what's the end? Well, then you got to restart again. And what do people not like doing? Starting or restarting. So guys, if you shift the mindset from starting and restarting and live the world like me, John and Marty, which is just a loop every 24 hours we're here, you're probably going to achieve a lot more. Marty, what did you say this week? Consistent 7s are better than 1s and 10s with a lot of zeros in the middle.
Well, can I add something there?
No, actually, we don't want Marty. Well, just Keith and Johnny are talking this morning. Get after it, pal.
I was gonna say I think that I think you do need goals though, but I think you gotta use them a certain way.
Yes.
Right.
Totally agree.
So you can't have goals as the finish line and like, okay, I can chill now. So you got to have, because you still got to measure your progress.
Yes.
They're checkpoints is what they are. They're checkpoints, but not to be distracted. Like if you want those abs,
right?
Don't think about your abs today. Think, what do I need to do today to keep me moving towards that checkpoint or that goal?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm having some fun inviting people to think differently around language and words, right? So yeah, of course you want to have a goal, but maybe Johnny and Marty, if you struggle with starting or struggling with getting going, maybe just change the word from goal to checkpoint or milestone and recognize that the abs are the checkpoint on the journey to living longer. The abs are the checkpoint to going tobogganing with your children when you're older, right? It's not about and don't go to Marty saying I want to lose 30 pounds by my wedding. No, go to a different trainer, because Marty's like, no, I don't want to fucking talk to you because that means the ending, right? So
and the wedding is next month.
All right, there's my little bit of my fun little rant this morning, boys. I got a surprise for you coming up here in about 6 minutes or so, 7 minutes. I have a young man who might just come in and drop a little bit of fun and humor this morning with us. Just have a little fun. It can be fun and chatter. But well, we got some guys. The comments are lit up this morning. We got Ian Bart's here in the comments. Good morning there, guys. We got Christian. We got Jeremy Cunningham. We got a bunch of listen, guys. If you're first time tuning into the show, this is a morning show for men. Our reason we get out of bed to help you guys hit some big audacious goals. Talk about if it matters to men, it matters to myself, John and Marty. Johnny, looks like you're in a new place today, brother. Or where are you today? You're in you're somewhere in Southern California, aren't you?
Yeah, Huntington. Yeah, I'm at a buddy's house. Whenever I come down here, he's my neighbor up at the lake. So
yes.
Yeah, we're he's a cool cat. When I moved in there at the lake, when I bought that house in 2020, I met him.
Yeah.
It was that very first, you don't know someone at first, but as I got to know him, I was like, holy shit, I hit the fucking neighbor jackpot. He's the coolest cat.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's funny to say that, actually, because I don't think we talk much. Humans don't talk much about their neighbors, eh? But for you to say I got the neighbor jackpot, that's like saying, Marty, I got a fucking best friend living next door to me right now.
He's so generous. I love the generosity,
Yeah.
And so it's like he loves to have people come up to the lake to his house. And so whenever he's got too many people, we have him use our guest house as overflow. So anytime, like we had a hotel booked down here and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Cancel that thing and come stay with me.
Man.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Boys, we got a comment from somebody in the feed to this morning. It is Gato Ferez. He's like, marriage is hard. Yeah. Marriage is really hard, actually. It is. There's nothing easy about marriage. But you know what, John? That's why it's so rewarding, isn't it, pal?
Look what he said, Keith. Look at the next one.
Oh, yeah. If you're over 40, you have no business getting married, and then that's what
here's the problem with marriage that I believe on a serious note is this, and if people don't see this, is that so there's two people, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple different layers to this. You see people have big problems, like, well, we'll just get married, like that's going to fix the fucking problem.
Yeah.
So marriage in America, especially, what it does is it increases the expectation of your partner, but the relationship hasn't done anything to support those expectations. So someone gets married, it's like, okay, well, the guy's sitting on the couch drinking beer. Well, you're my wife now. You got to make dinner every night. The lady's going, what the fuck are you talking about? We weren't married yesterday. It wasn't my responsibility.
You put it that way, actually, because I never thoroughly thought about it that way. But there's certain truth to that, right? Because it's like that label happens. You get married on Saturday, I'll quickly accelerate honeymoon money, Johnny. Monday shows up. You're my wife. I'm on the couch. I'm like, okay, you're now my wife, John Anderson. Do this for me. Like, what the fuck?
And here's the problem: is that when someone gets married, they should realize, okay, now I need to have higher expectations of myself because I'm married.
Yeah.
But people look to everybody else. It's unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah. No, we absolutely do. We absolutely do. Hey boys, I got something for you guys this morning. I got a funny one, actually. Why every man should have a safe word? John Anderson, Christopher Martin. Yeah, the safe word. In an era where open communication is key to success in all aspects of life, from business to relationships, it's no surprise, boys, that sexual boundaries and exploration benefit from the same clarity. Safe words, not just a niche tool for certain
I
lifestyles.
didn't know we were talking about sex again. Shit, man. I love it.
I was about
He's
to
always
ask.
going.
I was getting ready to ask. Safe word for what exactly?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I got a safe word for my wife, but I'm really good at saying no, but I can't. Well, I guess in sex we had that talk about the butthole and the prostate. That's that safe word of no there too. I'm pretty good at saying no.
So at its core, boys, a safe word is a verbal cue, a pre-agreed word or phrase that you and your partner use to instantly pause or stop any sexual activity. Jen says you're getting ready for the weekend for some life expectancy work. You might want to consider the boundary marker, giving you the power to call a timeout whenever you need one. Because sometimes, John, Marty, we recognize in intimate play the word no doesn't really necessarily mean the word no. Because sometimes sexual fantasies include no, meaning actually, no, I want you to go more. So maybe we want to consider encouraging a safe word in our relationships, right? Which is a word that implies to our partner, John and Marty, that, and words like pineapple or Batman, or I talked to somebody yesterday, Marty, who their safe word was frog. So, it's finding a word that indicates to your partner it's time to stop. Marty, what are you laughing at, brother?
I've never used the safe word. I don't know.
But you're
just
familiar.
just say stop or be like, hold up. I can't imagine myself saying Batman. I probably would never. I would get blocked. I'd never get talked to again.
Johnny, Marty and his girlfriend are in intimate relations, and all of a sudden, sex. All of a sudden, Marty's like, Batman.
Question. Yeah, that's gonna get me in the group chat. She gonna be talking shit. So yeah.
Well, I think what it comes down to. I think this goes more towards females than males, at least in my experiences.
Yes, I would
agree. Because I've had these conversations before.
Yes.
Because if a female says no enough to me, then I realize it's part of her, call it her fantasy or what she likes, but that's confusing to me. So I'm like, hey. This word is being used in a way that I don't understand it. I can see that no means yes, but what are you going to say when you really want me to slow down?
And that's exactly the point, John. So I was reading this yesterday. I thought, hey, this is a good conversation for our audience.
Oh, look at the comment, man.
We got what is it? We got go to where are we at here on
the one that says and once they get into.
I've been. What do we got here? I'm telling you, I'm 60. Oh, once you get into that menopause stage, sex is hard to get. Yes. Well, that's conversations we're gonna have to have here in the lab in the coming weeks and years, because I'm suspecting Johnny's wife is there or on her way there. I know mine is going to be on her way there.
Oh, you mean that? Okay, this is good, because the females that have dropped, once menopause hits, they need to seek help, because basically what's happened is their endocrine system has come off balance. And if they don't, there's a whole series of things that have to be done to get her back into a position where she's going to want sex again. But it's absolutely real. It's absolutely possible. I can't tell you how many females I've helped indirectly through my clients who my wife is going through this. This is the problem. And it's very, very fixable. Yes.
So John's talking about giving him to a different position, and John, you're not talking about missionary or doggy style. You're talking to a different position, just generally in life.
Well, I mean, it's a whole different. There's a whole lot of things. I mean, it's literally everything from the diet to the exercise to the endocrine system to being fucking spontaneous. You got to relight that fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I want to talk more about this in the coming days and months, Johnny, with some folks, actually, because I think we as men, I'll throw something on the table here, Johnny, and Marty, actually, because Marty, you're coming up to this, brother. It's coming.
I don't have my mute button, so forgive me when I choke. You guys are going to hear me today.
Oh, good. But John, this is a conversation I don't think us men have enough about, or know enough about, or understand enough about, because then I suspect what happens, Johnny, most of us men start to become crying little bitches because our wife is going through shit and we don't understand it.
100%, and I think this is my position. I think that we don't, as people, we don't give ourselves enough credit for how we can help situations around us. Yes. How you react or respond to her going through menopause is going to have a big difference. If you have some sort of a reaction and it creates negativity, it makes the whole situation worse.
Yeah.
Then she wants it even less. So there's just, we have more control than we think, but we gotta think a little bit bigger than the situation.
Oh, this is awesome.
Can I throw something on the table real quick since we're talking about
we can't.
the ladies? We're talking about the ladies. I saw something this morning.
Yeah.
We don't have. I mean, I would like to hear y'all thoughts, but I think it's something we should talk about.
Yeah.
So basically, we're saying that a lot of miscarriages in women are caused by the guys having a terrible lifestyle, a terrible diet, and putting bullshit into their body.
Which is causing
you're talking about weak swimmers.
Exactly. Yeah. So just something to think about. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, interesting because it means, boys, you got to stay out of the McDonald's line and out of the fucking fast food line. And if you want to go make some babies, go and eat some good quality food.
Oh, yeah.
Well, also, too, brother, I totally agree with that. But generally speaking, the dumb shit that the man is doing, the female's doing the same dumb shit. So don't blame it all on the male. Yeah. You both got to clean your shit up.
Oh, there we go.
I'll be talking about that soon.
Marty, I can see you you can go off on that one.
Speaking of talking about quickly before we go to the accountability check-in, and we're going to bring in our surprise drive-by here in a couple of minutes, boys. Marty, you dropped something in my feed yesterday, and I apologize. I forgot to acknowledge it or talk to you about it, but Johnny, Marty dropped a great little video actually with Kurt Angle, and I admit I did not get it prepped. Maybe we'll run it for Monday or whatever it is, Marty. But Kurt Angle was being interviewed by somebody, and I'm an Angle fan. I enjoy Kurt. John,
I love Kurt Angle, man.
Yeah, John, did you meet Kurt at all? Or have you talked to Kurt or been in his circle at all?
We have a lot of mutual friends, but I don't know him personally. No.
Yeah. It's funny because I reached out to him about a year ago to see if we can do some work together, and I found him on Cameo, and the guy fucking texted me back. So we've been texting, and so I've got to know the guy a little bit actually just through a fart in the wind. But I guess Marty, you dropped a video here which talks about people are calling him Perk Angle because of his challenges he had with Percocets along the way. Hey, Marty.
Yep.
And I know we were talking about opiates earlier this week, but and I thought it was you know what, we'll talk about it, but let's drop it on Monday, Marty, because it was a good clip because. You can see the uncomfortability in his face when he was questioning about Perk Angle, right? I didn't. I felt some sadness in my heart actually for the human being.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I felt bad for him because he was super talented. Everybody loved him.
Oh, not past is.
Well, is yeah. And Jeff Hardy had a similar issue and ruined his career. So I think it'd be good to talk about, man.
No, I gotta tell you, I mean. The drug problem in that sport is, I shouldn't say sport, entertainment, that business is fucking nuts. I'll quick. And this is actually news, so I'm having a brain fart on his name, but I can remember perfectly. Anyway, he was really, really. I was actually with him on a tour in New Japan, and he was so hooked on OxyContin.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And so he runs out before he gets home, right? Probably, I don't know how many days, maybe not too long.
Yeah.
Gets off the plane in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Goes straight to a Walgreens, right?
Come on.
Puts his hand in his shirt, says, pretending like he's got a gun, says, give me, I want these OxyContin pills. So the pharmacist gives them to him. And he says to the guy, says, I'm sorry, thank you. I'm going to be across the street in the bathroom at the gas station. Tell the police I'll be there. He knew he was going to jail, but he didn't care. He went and got high the last time, and they came and got him and put him in jail.
Wow.
That's how powerful that shit is.
The power of the brain, Johnny? Like those two evil, in that moment, those two evil humans on that guy, each of his guy's shoulder, the one shoulder going, don't do it.
Well, and that's the thing is it's like shows how this is a sweet, loving dude. It wasn't even the voice of him; it was the voice of the drug.
Yes, going, oh, do it, right? And that voice.
Well, here's the thing: I've been there. I've been hooked on that shit before. Yes. It's not the voice saying do it. You feel like you're gonna fucking die. Your body feels so bad. You will do anything to get rid of the feeling that you have. You feel like you're going to throw up. You feel like you're going to shit your pants. You feel like your brain's going to explode. You feel like you're dying.
Oh, man.
That's terrible. And that's why he literally took a cab. Didn't even get his fucking bags. Took a cab straight to the nearest pharmacy. got the drugs, knew he was going to jail, but he didn't care. That's how that. If you think about when you'll do that, you feel pretty bad to do something like that, to get that feeling to go away short term.
That's why I have a lot of love for second chances, man. Second, third chances. Sometimes we just don't have control over things, and this is a great example of it. And Marty, just kind of how we started the conversation about Kurt Angle. They're like, I got a lot of love for the guy. I don't know him, but I watch him, and he's a human being like you, Marty, and you, Johnny, with his own fears and his own things. And we all have our journeys, right? And that's really, I think,
Tomko. That's who it was. Tomko's wrestling name. Do you remember Tomko?
I do. Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, boys, listen.
Pretty fucking crazy.
Let's do a quick little break. Let's do the accountability check-in, and then I got a surprise for you guys coming in. We got a New Yorker. Yeah. There's my New Yorker accent. The guy's a little bit funny. Just a smidgen, though. Like, just a fucking smidgen. He's not that funny, though, so I don't know. Yeah, he might be crushing some bongs right now before he gets on the show. Who knows? All right, guys, listen. Here's what I have for you this morning. Jeremy Cunningham, ears up. Boop, boop, boop. All right. 6 signs you're winning at life, even if you don't feel like you are. Number 1, your health is your priority. Listen, guys, you don't need the 6-pack abs. Yeah, you do. Fuck you on the 6-pack ab. You want to walk around the beach? You want to crush the fucking ab poses? I'm kidding. No, you just need the energy, the focus, and the strength to show up every single day. With the 6 abs. Yeah, for sure. You crave the depth over the surface. I know you do. I know that you're like, this fucking small talk is noise. Noise. You desire the deep conversations. That's the fuel that moves you forward. You choose growth over comfort. You're not a lot about setting goals. You recognize a goal is only a milestone in your journey. You're willing to fail. You're willing to learn, and you're willing to stretch, because safe, boys, safe doesn't excite you. I know it doesn't excite you, Cunningham. I know it doesn't. You fail a lot. I know you do. And that's good, because failure means you're trying. Right, Fontana? You're alive. You're growing. You're getting their ass out of bed. You're logging into Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Something one of us is saying is igniting you to move forward. That's what we do here on the show. You are more than you take. Yes, Mike Smart. You lead with generosity, because abundance, you know that abundance follows. Because if you go first, there's somebody walking behind you. And here's the thing. I know that you like who you are becoming. You recognize that you're not perfect. You know that you're not perfect. You recognize your flaws. You recognize your weaknesses. But you know what you are, men? You're proud of the fucking progress. Yes, you are. Because listen, boys, winning at life? Nah. It's not about what you have. It's not about my fucking Tesla in the garage. No. It has nothing to do with money, titles, and status. I had all that bullshit. I was fucking lost. Lost, baby. It's about who you are. And it's about who you are and who I am becoming. So I invite you to subscribe, tune in to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Go find us on the weekends to keep it going and come back again. It doesn't end. This show doesn't end. We don't end until we're heading to the cemetery. True motherfucking story. Let's get after it, Jimmy. A little bit of energy this morning on a Friday. Loving it. Bringing it here today.
Hey, brother, real quick, I gotta interject real quick. And that was a great segment where you said, I had all those things. You have currently all those things.
Thanks, Johnny. Yes, you do. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yes. Yeah.
Don't be. I mean, granted, you're not flaunting. You're giving advice, but you have all the shit.
I appreciate
it. You don't have to do anything.
I appreciate that.
That doesn't make you happy.
I appreciate it. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. I have a lot of things that don't provide as much fullness as I do. I get from all of you guys, including this young man, John and Marty. Look who I drug out of the fucking boroughs of New York City this morning.
New York, it's all those Canada vibes, eh? What are you talking about?
Fontana doing a little drive-by this morning. I figured, hey, the circus could use another fucking puppet, so I figured I'd bring more in.
I was gonna say, I think he's been on that reefer. He's got the glasses on like that. I love it.
You know what? It's true, because to be honest, listening to you guys for the last 20 minutes has been very therapeutic. Because I woke up with nothing but rage this morning.
Oh, do tell. Do tell.
Little mix of PTSD, little mix of this guy waking me up at 3:30 in the morning. He's lucky he's still alive.
Yeah.
Just all the things. There's mornings where the coping mechanisms work when the triggers come in, and some that don't, and some where they come in maybe a little too late. This morning was probably one of those where I was able to reel and rein in everything, but damage had been done. My temper, my anger, my fury got the best of me, but listening to you guys is the reset that I needed.
Awesome.
For any of you guys who don't realize that Keith and John and Curtis are not just talking bullshit.
Chris.
Sorry, Curtis. Excuse me.
No, we don't know Curtis. We only know Chris.
I need a safe word here for this cat.
We're gonna call your cat Curtis. That's who we're calling Curtis.
Face fucking me, this cat.
So, boys, those of you that don't know Fontana's been on the show a few times. I met Joe Fontana over on LinkedIn, and he's best friends with Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent here on the show. The fellow sitting in the middle here. I see Marty Fitz.
So, yes,
he does not like Curtis. He's taking a drink on that to try to simmer it back. He's like, I'm going to just choke this one down. He goes, I'm going to choke this one down once.
That's it. Fontana's no world of sales. Joe joined the show a few weeks back, and I know that Joe has been on a journey, boys. John and Marty. Joe's been on a journey, departed his previous company, and he's on a journey to what's next. And I know that he's had his ups and downs, and I said, hey, just like I like to do with a lot of the men that have been connecting with me outside of the show, I knocked on Joe's door this morning just to check on him, John and Marty. He's like, hey, just see how this dude's doing. And I was like, hey, why don't you do a drive-by and just come check up? And he's like, Keith, this is the day I fucking needed it. So there you go, Joe. I thought I'd bring you in and say hello and just check in with you, man, and just see how you're doing. And I'm glad that we were able to provide a place of safety for you to feel good today to get going. How's the job search going? How's the adjustment going, pal?
It's funny. So I'm still helping these guys transition out, and I feel like, when you're younger, you break up with somebody, or they break up with you, and because you can't have them, you want them. It's a lot of that right now. So they know that I'm not going to be there much longer. So it's a lot of, hey, have you considered this? We'd like you to be part of these plans. All the things that they should have been doing a year ago, they're doing now. Which gets you questioning yourself, especially when on the flip side, you got a search that is fucking drier than the Sahara. You're going through some personal shit, which we all do. And you got to bring that to those conversations or to that search and to those efforts. And then you just have days like today where you wake up fucking feeling like a bag of dicks. I've been sick all week. And just woke up with the rage. And when that rage comes from Sicilian genes and Marine Corps training, shit can be dangerous.
So Joe, let's dig deep for a few moments, brother, because I woke up this morning a little out of sorts. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. I took me a cup and a half, John, to get myself counted in, as to steal a term from you. But I'll tell you that by second cup, I was dialed in, and I'll give you a couple other tips. I had my run scheduled today, Marty. I do my Monday and Friday runs, my 45-minute run. I fucking did not want to do it. I was like, I don't want to do for a run. You know what I did, though? I did a 10-minute run because I said to myself, okay, so I can't do 45, but 10 is like an easy number because 10 goes to 9 really quick. That's single digit, right? So, okay, I get 10 minutes done. And I'm like, well, fuck, I can do 10. Then I did 15. So I was 25 in the bank. Oh, fuck, I'm already there. And then I did 20 more. Next thing you know, then I did 5 more. I did 50 minutes, but I broke my ignorance down, Fontana, into little chunks that I was able to digest. That was my trick this morning, which was, because I woke up a little bit of sorts too, and I had to kind of slow it down and break my time into small chunks to allow myself to get through my morning. And then once I did, I talked to you, Fontana. I was like, okay, we got some energy going on here, brother.
It's funny. It's exactly what I've been doing all morning, is trying to break the morning down into just, okay, this is the way you feel right now. Before you make the next step, you just got to deal with this. Yeah. I think I may have even used the analogy once. There's a Bob, was it Bill Murray, Richard Dreyfuss movie from like the 90s?
Yeah.
I can't remember that. Crazy People or something like that.
Yeah.
And he keeps talking
It's
about
called What About Bob?
Yes.
What About Bob? Thank you. I was thinking of Crazy People. If you ever saw that Dudley Moore movie from the 80s where they use
of course.
guys from the insane asylum to do advertising.
Yeah.
But my point being is I was baby stepping it through the morning.
Yes.
It's just baby self back to a balanced breath. baby self, you're back to just getting up out of this bed, of making this bed, of just minor victories as you go through the morning. It doesn't change the fact that I woke up in rage and took it out on all sorts of the wrong people for the wrong reasons.
Well, let me jump in there, Joe, real quick. So I think this is just my position. Works for me, may work for you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, brother. You keep saying rage. Rage is energy. It's power.
Yeah.
What are you spending it on? If you take that, let's just say, I'm going to just make a weird example. You're in New York, it's freezing fucking cold. You wake up and you feel like you're going to saw somebody's fucking head off, right? Go outside and fucking sprint down the street in that fucking cold air until you can't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
I would almost guarantee the saw will fall out of your hand about the point that you can't breathe anymore. And you'll be fucking happy to be alive, and you'll have a beautiful walk home, and it'll be all over. And you could solve this problem about 45 seconds out of bed every fucking day.
You know what sucks is it took me an hour to get there. I didn't even do the sprint. I just walked out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, this is a pattern. So don't give it the chance. You have to attack within 45 seconds out of bed. Because at a minute, it's got you by the fucking short and curlies. And now that's where you are today. Spend an hour of your life with this shit holding onto your fucking pubic hairs and the bottom of your fucking scrotum. You feel like you're fucking frozen because you can't move because it's got a hold of your short and curly. Don't let it get a hold. It's your choice.
There's something powerful in that. And listen, Joe,
listen, man, I love you guys for that. And for anybody listening, these guys are for real all day, every day. Because Keith's message came into me at 6:30 this morning, the second I needed it.
Yeah.
These guys say that they are here to enable you to be the best versions of yourself. When you hear things like mornings in the lab and you hear things like business athletes, these are the things that these guys are talking about. Because I could have fucking shirked from it. I could have rolled over in bed. I make jokes about playing with this, but I could have smoked this and fucking just went down a rabbit hole of depression and bullshit, fucking excuses. Instead, the second I'm off of this, I got to go downstairs and deal with the fact that I fucking woke up on the wrong side of the bed and acted like a punk ass bitch.
But here's the good news, Joe. Here's the good news, brother. Here's the great news, actually, is that you're hanging out with us this morning. We're going to rock roll to see Marty here in a minute. And you're going to get on with your family. You're going to get on with your day. And I know now for a fact, you have a wonderful day ahead of you. You got a positive sense of energy into, and I love what Anderson said. And I know it's kind of harsh, but it's so true, because I've been there too. And I liken it to the snooze button, Joey, because I know that the moment I think about hitting the button, I'm lost. So it's like John's like, no, Joey. The moment you're starting to feel, it's like get the fuck up and get outside and go right now.
Yeah, just set a reset. That's what it is. That's like dumping yourself into the water.
Yeah.
You got to meet it. That's the thing. You got to meet it. It's harsh. You got to meet harsh with harsh.
Yeah.
It's whatever you feel coming, you got to fucking take one more step. You got to go one notch higher than it's coming. And I would say, me personally, in the wintertime, going outside in New York when it's fucking freezing cold and sprinting down the street till you 400 meters where you can't where you're like slowing down because you're turning into slow motion, your body will release so many fucking positive hormones into your fucking bloodstream. You can't help but to be fucking happy to be alive because your body's thinking 10 fucking seconds ago, I didn't have enough fucking oxygen to survive. So I started pumping all this chemistry into his bloodstream to make him feel like if he's going to die, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I want to add something real quick.
Get after Marty.
Tom Brady, I think it was an interview with Patrick Bet-David, and he talked about how he thrived off of rage to the point where he would just look for a reason to be mad because that was what made him successful. Energy. So you could always channel that energy to something else. I'm kind of the same way. Like I want somebody to semi-talk some shit about me, and that just sends me to the next level. So you could always use it towards, killing your day, killing your business.
I totally agree. And there's a certain point when I'm competing, when something fucking goes against me, it's almost like my face just changes. Yeah. My training partners used to be able to see it. Like if I did something I was fucking frustrated with, they're like, oh, fuck. it's going to be a brutal rest of the fucking workout because they could see it's like that movement where Stallone would turn his hat around. Except for I didn't have to turn anything. It was like if I got fucking frustrated, it was that dead fucking stare.
Joe Fontana, before we walk you out of here, brother, did we achieve some greatness with you here, pal? You feeling a little bit better before we walk out of the last?
Oh yeah, bro. Just getting your text this morning, I was like, okay, God, it's time to wake. There's the accountability I needed to not be a punk ass bitch today. Good.
Well, quick question. If you ever do decide to do the running down the street in the cold weather, will you come and share it with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a call Keith later this afternoon. I might go out and do that run now.
Beautiful.
Please.
Let's go.
We would love to hear that. But remember, you got to run to the point where everything starts to go into slow motion. That makes sense? Because the idea is that you suck so much oxygen out of the bloodstream so quickly, the body realizes if I'd stay on this trajectory, I will die. And the brain starts releasing chemistry that says, if he's going to die, he's going to die in peace.
How about this? What time is the show on until? Yeah, ton of
stuff.
What time is the show on until today?
Fontana, your run will take you 45 seconds, man. We'll be here for another hour or so go get after it and come back.
Go get it, baby. Go get it.
Back. Do some
Let's go.
Do your run, brother. Go do your fucking run.
Yes.
See you soon, boys.
All right. You're hanging
out. All right, Joe.
You're hanging out with Keith, Marty, John, and Joe Fontana's going for you guys there in the comments. Bulletproof, good to have you here this morning. I invite you to subscribe to our channel, Mornings and Live with Keith and Friends. The only show we go Monday to Friday, the live conversation for men. And over there on the bottom left is John Anderson. Over the bottom right is Christopher Martin, a.k.a. Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson. And you got Keith Billis up here at the top. Marty, it's funny because I didn't realize. I've been talking to Joe for a couple of months, Marty, and he keeps talking about Curtis. I'm like, who the fuck is Curtis? And then today on the show, he's like, Curtis. I'm like, you're talking about this guy.
Jesus Christ. That's
you know what, John?
funny, dude.
Keith is so funny. He's going to listen to you talk and not ask who the fuck is Curtis. He's going to listen to you and be like, yeah, Curtis.
Well, but listen, I agree with you, but on the flip side, man, Joe gets running so fast with his words. It's hard to keep up with what he's saying, let alone rap back to who is Curtis.
Yeah, he's fucking. When I met him, he reminds me of just a New Yorker dude that just fucking makes me laugh, man. His humor and his jokes, and he comes out, he says shit. They're like, what? I fucking love it. Anyways, Marty.
Well, the crazy thing is that his personality is very accepted in that environment over there.
Yes.
There's a lot of people like that. So. Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of them don't realize that they're kind of they're giving themselves a subpar existence with accepting and supporting the negativity of it.
Yes, exactly. All right, Marty, let's do it, brother. Let's get your fit tip in. We're going to come back and talk about some routines and so forth. And then Jory Jansen's joining us in less than 7 minutes. We got some fun stuff to talk about with Jory. Marty, get after it, brother.
Let's get it, man. All right, man. Another simple fit tip. You got to lock in. You're probably thinking, what? Like, that's too simple. It is too simple. Let's talk about it. So when I say you got to learn to lock in, there's going to be an obstacle. I'm actually glad Joe just came on here, right? You're going to feel like things are going smooth when you start your fitness journey, right? You're going to be eating your clean meals. You're going to be at the gym consistently. But there's going to be a speed bump in the road, right? There's going to be an obstacle. There's going to be a challenge. You could wake up in rage like Joe just did. Right? You can have something happen with your family. You can have your car break down. You can have anything happen that can throw you off of your game. But you got to find a way to stay locked in. You can't let this speed bump throw you off for a week. You can't let it throw you off for a month. And sometimes you might get thrown off for a day, maybe 2. You might have unexpected snow. I know they had snow down in Florida, Texas, Georgia, where they don't usually have snow, and I saw videos of people saying they ain't been to the gym in 3 days, right? Now, there are going to be some things you can control, but there are going to be some things that you can't control, like snow. But you still got to stay locked in. So if that snow hits, you can still eat clean. You could still do something in the house, even if it's just push-ups. But learn to stay locked in. Stay on your grind. Don't let up. Keep your foot on the gas. Stay locked the fuck in. That's the fitness tip for today.
And you boys, and listen, there's a theme to what Jory's talking about today, actually, Marty, because she was inspired by something you posted earlier this week. She's like, Keith, we got to talk about this. like, all right. So coming
Really,
up
Jory on my post?
Yeah, Jory's all over, man. I'm telling you, Marty, the moment she realized that she could call you Marty after dinner, she's like, Keith, what should I call Curtis? Oh, you mean Christopher? You mean?
Yeah, we got to talk to Joe about that. He gonna come on here and say Curtis, and I'm gonna look up to the sky because I know he's not talking to me. My mother ain't named me Curtis.
He's gonna start calling me Kevin, and he'll be calling that young man Garth.
I'm gonna tell my mom later. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, somebody called me Curtis today." I'm gonna tell you my mom's response. She's gonna be like, "What?
Who the fuck is that dude?"
Yeah.
A fucking white dude from Brooklyn is calling me Curtis. Hey boys, I want to talk a little bit about secrets of successful men's morning routines, and we've been doing the show long enough that sometimes people who are tuning in today, like maybe Jeremy Cunningham and some of the gang here, God of Frodo, and some of the folks tuning in this morning may have not heard of some of our routine habits that we imply every single day that we've been doing for our entire life. So boys, let's take a few minutes and dig into what's successful in John Anderson's world, what's successful in Christopher Martin's world. And let's do like a little brief recap here, Johnny. So your morning routine consists of what? And I know that it starts the night before. So let's do a little quick rehash on the John Anderson morning routine / nighttime routine for somebody new turning in and wondering, what the fuck are these boys talking about? Johnny.
Well, first thing when I got up to this ray of light coming down, I cleaned my camera.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Can you guys see me all right?
We see God in front of us now, Marty. That's just.
Yeah, I was to say this is like one of those biblical things here. So first thing for me when I get my as I always preach, my phone is in the bathroom. So I get up, alarm goes off at 2:59. Why 2:59? Because I want to be 1 minute ahead of 3 o'clock.
Yes.
I turn that thing off and I keep going into the bathroom. And I'm taking a piss and I immediately assess which rabbit hole is my brain going down. Is it thinking about something positive or is it thinking about something negative?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I do. If it's negative, I know that I got to get to work. I got to start, boom, stop it. I got to go into some grateful thoughts.
Yeah.
Going down the right hole, I keep on pushing it down. All right. So then by the time I get out into the kitchen, right now at this point, I kind of decide, okay, what do I need to do? Usually if my brain it's kind of a crossroad, my brain's going down the right hole, I'll take a dump, forgive me, get on the rebounder. Change my physiology. If my brain's going down the wrong rabbit hole, I'll write my mental exercises out first to get my brain going down the right rabbit hole. Then I'll get on the rebounder. So I want to get in the right spot. So when I physically change my physiology, it pushes me down the right hole, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then from there, I get myself in the right space. I'm moving. Then I do coffee and that kind of stuff. I take care of, just have a few little things that I do where I don't really have to think because I've done it so many times, but I'm being productive. That makes sense.
It does. But what strikes me about your routine, and I got to be honest, boys, I was having this conversation with Mike Smart yesterday about how this show has impacted my life. Like I think about you two. I'll be frank. You two first. When I get up first thing, I think about you two. Because it helps me set my morning because I know I have an obligation to the three of us, like our band, right? So then I say to myself, okay. And then I ask myself what rabbit hole I'm going down, Johnny, because I find myself going down a rabbit hole. And I've learned to create that awareness because of our conversations. I didn't have that awareness before, actually. I didn't have it. But now that I've learned from you and I talked to Marty and I know Marty's routine, I'm like, okay, I hear what these guys are doing and I'm using it for myself. And I'm learning. Like Mike Smart tuned in yesterday, like, fuck, you guys are getting me going to the gym now because things you're talking about. Fontana's hearing some of the things. So I'm saying this out loud because I'm learning from you two boys just by spending every morning. And I know when I get up, John, when I go for a piss, I'm standing there going, okay, where's my brain going? And then I think about you, okay, let me count myself in. I go have my coffee. I know by second.
Well, then
I'm feeling better.
So let me get you. So after I do a few things, I'm just kind of, my body is carrying out a few productive tasks.
Yes.
I don't really have to think.
Yes.
Because what I'm really waiting for is for me to be in that position where I think I can do some physical exercise, but I'm actually kind of physically warmed up and mentally ready to do it. And at that point, I'm going to do, I'll do some burpees.
Yes.
Sometimes like I strained my pecs, so I just stopped doing the burpees. So I was going out into the garage and basically going on stairs gauntlet what I was doing, that's like the revolving staircase.
Totally,
right?
totally, yeah.
So you have to negotiate. It's like truly going up steps.
Yes.
You know, if I'm in a hotel, I'll literally just go to the stairwell. But what I do is I just basically put that thing on level 10, and I'll just basically run that thing till it spits me off. Because all I want to do is just get myself. I want to just like I was telling Fontana to do.
Makes
sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I want to basically shock my body, and I want to shock my body and my brain. My brain's going, okay, he needs this positive chemistry in a big way because,
yes,
you know, physically, you know, there's too much going on.
Yes.
I climb off there. Of course, takes me a couple minutes. I'm huffing and puffing, drink a little more coffee. Then I'm going to do my sitting. I'll sit down, and usually I won't have to count too far to get myself in if I push myself in my physical exercise.
Yeah.
Then I have an alarm that goes off. That's literally 6 minutes before I'm supposed to be logged in here. Come out of my trance, if you will. Grab my cigar, grab my computer, go outside, walk out to the guest house where the studio is, plug in, and I'm literally here between 59. I'm logged in between 59 and 5.
Yes.
And you guys, because you don't need me for a few minutes because you open the show.
Yeah. Well, and
I utilize every fucking. I used to be logged in early because I remember I didn't really know the format, didn't care, and I realized, okay, there's 5 minutes I can utilize here. I can put that towards my sitting in silence.
Yeah. Marty, we're gonna get to Jory here in about 2 minutes here. Marty, has your morning routine changed since you and I started doing the show? And have there been some things that have come from myself or Marty or Johnny or just other guests that you've brought into your world to help with your non-negotiables and morning routine, Marty?
I pretty much I already had like a pretty solid morning routine that worked for me.
Yeah.
I pretty much doing the same shit. I'm gonna be honest.
No, that's good.
Anything I learned from you guys, I probably apply to other areas of my life.
Yes.
Yeah, but my morning routine was always solid. But you know, I get up, I do my I put something positive in my ears, like I said. Drink some water, get to the gym, stretch.
Yeah.
And then I start setting up for my clients, really. That's
like
exercise.
That's beautiful, brother. That's one thing I didn't say when I'm carrying out those handful of tasks where I'm just physically moving. I put something. I've been listening to Dan Pena lately.
He's a fucking beast. I gotta listen to. Are you listening to a book or just different videos?
I just go onto YouTube and listen to one of the speeches. But remember when I said that? Remember I gave a statistic: 87% of the people are not happy with their jobs.
Yeah,
their lives. That's him. You remember you guys? Where did you get that statistic? I was like, well, fuck it. You're listening to the right people. That's statistics everywhere.
Well, and truthfully, you know, I knew of your routine, Marty, just because we had spoken, and I had been watching you from afar, which is what made it easy for me to call you to say, hey, you want to come hang out and do this show with me? You're like, yeah, fuck, I'll come hang out and do that show with you. So, and then months later, we're still hanging out here again. So, well, listen, let's get to the fifth tip. Let's get to the lifestyle tip with John Anderson, and then we're gonna bring in Jory. Jory has been watching Marty's content. We're gonna talk about some stuff coming up. Johnny, let's get after it, brother.
It's a special one today. As you can see, I've got the light shining on me here. All right. Check this out. You are going to become very similar, if not the same, to the 5 people you spend your time with. So here's the deal. I know you're looking around thinking, man, what am I going to do? I got all these people around me that I love, and I can't just exile these people from my life, and I get it. Well, the beautiful thing is we live in this magical age with this thing called the internet. So you literally can start this journey by just consuming the content from the right people. This is where you start. It's not just saying, okay, everybody that's, doesn't take care of themselves, get out of my life. I understand it's not that easy. Start with this one simple step. Make sure the content you consume is from people that are where you want to go, and let the journey unfold from there. So remember, you will become the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. The question is, who are you listening to? Rock and roll.
Powerful stuff this morning from John Anderson. Who are you listening to? We invite you to come listen to us every single morning here, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, mornings in the lab with Keith and friends. Myself, Keith Billis, John Anderson, C. Marty Fit, and of course in the middle, our favorite, the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
GOAT.
No, not Tom Brady. We don't have budget for Tom.
You have budget for me?
But we do have Jory Jansen here this morning. She gets one meal a year from all Uncle Keith here. Jory has been watching Curtis's content, and she has been. So, Jory, this morning we had Joe Fontana dropping this morning, and Joe forever has been thinking that Marty is Curtis Jackson. And we've been teasing Curtis this morning that
what's crazy is that's my mom's last name, so it's like that's really fucking close.
But Jory sends me a note this morning, like she does every couple of days. She's like, "Hey, what are we talking about today?" I'm like, "I just about to send her a note we're going to talk about." And she's like, "Hey, what if today we talk about keeping up on it's meeting the end of the many 31-day challenges, because we know we're coming at the end of the month, planning for what is next or restarting for those who have already fallen off." And then Marty, she's like, "Hey, Marty's post reminded me of it, so he's brilliant." So Marty, Jory thinks you're brilliant, so we're talking about it.
Oh, thank you, Jory. I appreciate that.
Yes. Funny, Jory. I said to Marty this morning, I was like, "Yes, it's because Jory's finally got the courage to call you by your name." So she's like, "Hey, I am now going to lean into the Christopher Marty."
Then I'm going to creep on you.
Yeah, she just it's something new every week with Jory now.
Oh, I love it. Jory's part of the paint here now on the show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, our awesome nutrition performance expert. Jory, let's talk about it, man, because we know that there's a lot of folks coming up to the end of the 31-day challenges. And what are some words of wisdom, advice you got for folks you're working with, men that are tuning in today on what's next? And I know you and I were laughing. I kicked the show off by saying stop shooting for goals, because they're going to end and you're going to go, "What the fuck, what do I do next?" Jory, what do we talk? How do we want to get into this morning? But folks that are coming up to the end of that 31-day challenge.
Yeah. For those that are still in it, like, congrats. That's awesome.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Great. So I think there's still room to celebrate that. I know that many have fallen off, and I always tell people you've only fallen off when you stop. And so if you're still living, breathing, and you can get back on track to what is important to you, I always look back at those values. What do you value?
Yeah.
Because when you connect it back to your values, then it's not too late until it's too late.
Yes.
So I really like the idea of going back to values. And I think when I came in, I was catching what John was saying, and really it's about making sure you have systems in place.
Yes.
Because goals are in the moment, right?
Yes.
And which is totally fine. But if we only live in the moment only, then we're going to lose that. So it's not about like who inspires me. That's momentary, because they can also uninspire you just as quickly.
Yes.
So I really think that it's about looking at your values and then setting up those systems in place. So it's like I always, with my daughter, first thing in the, like before bed, she has to pick out what she's going to wear to school the night before. That has to happen.
That's I was brought up the same way.
Yeah,
literally
a non-negotiable, right?
So George, hang there, George. So in your house with your parenting, the non-negotiable is Allie, right? Allie?
Yeah.
Allie, before you go to bed tonight, you need to pick what you're wearing tomorrow. In other words, you're setting her up for tomorrow's success before she goes to bed. Love that.
School bag is probably packed as well, correct?
Yep.
Jory?
She has to help with packing, selecting her lunch and her snack, because if she's involved, she'll feel empowered. Not, "Well, I have to eat." It's this is what I've put together. So she can be proud of that. So when Kurt was away, she helped make dinners, and it was beautiful. It was great.
Yeah.
And so those are like the two non-negotiables. She's added in another non-negotiable for me, because this is one that I let slip, is if I haven't done my workout on my own that in the day, then it has to be it. Even if it's 10 at night, I'm like, "Allery, we need to go to bed." She goes, "But Mom, what about you being healthy?" Right? So,
boys, hold on a second here. I got to pause the look, George. You got your kid holding you accountable. So you got your kid
13. She's 13.
No, I love this because we often as humans struggle in business, Jory, to manage up. I encourage my team manage up. Melissa holds me accountable every single day. She said, "Keith, what about this?"
How to lead when you're not the one in charge.
Wow. To empower your child to hold you accountable, like that's fucking gold, Jory.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I went through the same thing. because I was always on my girls, look, you need to honor the word to yourself. When you say you're going to do something, you got to do it. Sometimes it's a bitch to do it, but you have to. It all starts with the promise to yourself. And then they would throw that back on me. They'd see me in a brief pause. They're like, it's your word. I'm like, motherfucker, I better just shut up and get to work.
But yet we're so proud of that. And you know what, every single time, even if it's 10 at night and I'm tired, I get up.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not as early as some of you, but I'm also up later. I'm up at 6 a.m. at the latest usually. And I go to bed between 11 and 12, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important because when you honor what you've set out to do, it brings us a sense of pride. And you know, the people around you, that's what they want. They're looking for someone that has that. And so I think that you have to have these, it comes from the High Performance Habits book.
Yes.
You have to have your personal and your social habits going in place.
Yeah.
And the first one being, I think the most important is clarity. If you can be very clear on what it is that you're working towards, and that's going to shift over time. But I think if you're very clear, that is going to be sustaining. Whereas when it's something that is
fleeting,
then we can fall off track. So those of you that are on your 31-day challenge, you missed 5 days of your 31 days, get back on. It's not too late, right? But go back to be very clear of your why in the beginning. And after we ask our 5 whys to why that's important, I want to look good. Why is that important? You know, keep going down to your 5 whys. That's what you're going to value. That's going to bring clarity, and that's going to get you back on track every time.
You know that I just got to take this. I love this, Jory.
I'm loving this. Yes.
If you take 1,000 people, put them on a line, and say, what is it you want? Most people aren't clear enough with their own lives to answer that question.
Yes.
And we're just talking about general in life, you know, and it all starts with the little tasks along the way. You start getting clear on the little ones, then you become much more clear with the big ones. But clarity, probably something that's missed here. Atomic Habits, great book.
Great book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's those tiny consistent changes because they're easier to do.
Yeah.
I think there was an example of something about like when you have like a coin doesn't make you rich, but it's when you keep adding a coin over time, all of a sudden you've got abundance. And so it's the same thing. So it's planning that outfit. Maybe it's that workout outfit first thing in the morning. I've got my runners at the end of my stairs because I come down to work out in my house.
Yeah.
So, so it's what are those little systems in place that create the small little habits that create that chain reaction?
I mean, I'm at a buddy's house, right? As you guys know. Well, I got here last night. Of course, we hung out before bed. I literally have I'm at his dining room table. I have my little workspace set up. Everything is it's the same, arrangement as my basically desk at home. So when I sit down, everything is familiar. Phone is here, iPod's here, little eraser here, my drinks on the left. I just sit down and plug in.
Yeah. It's perfect. That's the way it needs to be. And it kind of goes with our last show too, right? Like the preparation of meals.
Yes.
If you first, plan it, whatever planning it is, then you got to prepare for it, and then you can execute it.
Jory,
waking up trying to figure this shit out is not the way to be successful.
Yep, that's true.
I'm a big fan of this conversation this morning, and boys, I got to be honest with you, man. I just feel like every single day, every second day, Jory shows up, she's like bringing more. I'm like, holy smoke! Like, who is this? Like, she's bringing the fucking nuggets, man. Jory, you're just bringing
all of us. We feed off of each other. I listened to all of you first. I was like, "Ooh, that's good."
But I got to ask you something because I think this is something that men and women and couples deal with.
Yeah.
Let's role play, Jory. We're married. We're at the end of day 31. I'm like, fuck, I'm done this thing. You're like, well, no, but Keith, I'm going at it still. And then the couples show up, and John, I know you have clients, and Marty, you have clients like this. They start next week where one's going in one direction, one's going the other direction.
Yep.
Next thing you know, failure, it is inevitable for one, if not both of them.
So where did you lose the connection?
I was just going to say, Jory, where do you restart? Where do you find that connection again for that couple, Jory? Because I think that happens more often than not, frankly, with a lot of couples, Jory.
Oh, it absolutely does. And I think Kurt and I have an awesome marriage, but we still can easily slip and miss that.
Yes.
So it takes the person that's sensing that to say, hey, let's get reconnected. And so I remember there was a phase where Kurt and I really need to focus on getting reconnected. What were we doing?
Yes.
And I called it tea time because I like coffee. He can't drink coffee. It makes him crazy.
I love it.
Right. So we called it our tea time. Whether we had tea or not didn't matter. It was our time, whether it was 5 minutes or an hour. It was our time to reset together. And
Jory, so amazing.
Be different, right?
I have every day at 5 o'clock, I have terror time. That's when I shift gears. Yeah. I leave at that point. She's my focus.
But Jory, let's keep going here, Jory, John, and Marty. Again, I'm like, no, but I'm not hitting my goals. I'm not having success, Jory. I feel like I'm putting on weight. I'm not losing weight in this 31-day challenge. Fuck it. I'm done with this. Like, no, Keith, don't, or no, Kurt, don't. We got to restart again. Again, I want to lean into the couples that there's somebody's wanting to give up.
Yeah. So I would look at if it's about weight loss and changing your body. It's taken many years to be where I am right now.
Yes.
So I've got to be kind, and nice is like kind of like passive aggressive. We need to be kind. Kind is different, and kind is honest. It's truthful. It doesn't always feel good, but it's going to move you. So it's like, so what are you going to do about it? That's what my husband tells me. He's like, I love you exactly the way you are. However, this bothers you. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it every time. But it's true. And I do say that with my clients too. I'm like, it's cool. You're showing up. You're paying me. You're working with me, which is great. I love seeing you. What are you going to do? You have the knowledge. You have the resources. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't
choice at that point.
Money for weights and things. I used my own body weight in my little space in my room in the basement. I didn't have a bunch of things, toys and gadgets to work.
Yeah.
So it's, what are your resources, and what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. I always do this. So if my clients are struggling like that, like 30 days, nothing happened, right? I ask them, I say, give me your significant accomplishments in your life, right? So some of them, it might be the degree, it might be the kid, it might be buying the house that they wanted, buying the car that they wanted. So I'm like, so if you worked to get that, did it take 30 days? The answer is always no. So why do you think that you about to get this dream body or this dream result in 30 days? That's not a long time, clearly, because you didn't get anything of significance in 30 days. So I always use that.
And also, too, brother, that's so beautiful. And also, the things that they got, they have to continue to work to keep.
Yep.
Yeah, like just because your house is paid for, you still got to save money to fix the roof one day, right? Or if you're still paying for your house, there's a mortgage.
And how many people's houses are paid for? Let's be honest.
Right. So this whole idea of that's a
great work to keep. You got to work to pay for it to keep it.
That's wonderful wisdom, Johnny, from the youngster on the show this morning, Jory. The young man
I know a little something, man. Just a little bit. Not as much as y'all, but a little bit.
Calling me out, going, Billis, you didn't achieve that success in 30 days. What the fuck? I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right there, young man. I'm going back to work. Actually, I'm going back to work because this guy just called me out on truth. Jory,
that's usually the answer, man. You get back to fucking work. That's usually the answer.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
So,
Jory, what do you got going on this weekend before we rock and roll and get you out of here today? I know we got Joe Fontana got to come back in and tell us how his big run went. What do you got going on this weekend, kid?
I think it's running Allery to dance rehearsals.
Yeah, so you're being Uber, mom, are you? Yeah.
What's that?
You're being Uber, mom, are you? You got Uber.
Yeah, we've got that going on, but also planning, preparing, so we can keep on executing. Right?
Yes. Awesome, guys. Jory dropped a nugget this morning, guys, and I think the big thing I learned from this whole thing is listen to your children, and it's okay if your kids want to hold you accountable. What a nugget she dropped when she's wanting to go to bed, and Allie's like, hey, Mom, you didn't take care of yourself to live longer for me. And you're like, oh, right, fuck, I got to go do that. Jory, that was awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And thank you, as always, all of you. I do listen in before I come on, and it's always good stuff that I piggyback off of. So
Beautiful.
for your pearls of wisdom. Love
Awesome.
it. And yes, I am creeping on you, Marty. It's good stuff.
Oh, thank you so much. I
Joe, I gotta
appreciate
say,
it.
I'm feeling a little left out here. Jesus Christ.
Are you on social media too, John? I'm gonna then do that too.
Oh, he's all over social media, Jory.
Yeah,
you got
John's on there,
John
man.
on Instagram. You will John has had some good content yesterday. He's got a nice pose of him on the ring yesterday, doing a good old peck a good old pose.
Hey, every time John posts on Instagram, I'm like, I just heard this morning. I heard him say that this morning.
Well, honestly, that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy this, because it's my stick. And I got to do it right now on the spot. It just makes what I do that much better, because it's one thing to sit down and write something out. It's another thing to come up with it right now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a gift. So thank you for sharing it. I love it. I really do.
Well,
I'm going to creep on you too.
And I love the dynamic. And I got to be honest, I thoroughly enjoy the dynamic that's come out of the four of us. Right. And I'll tell you, George, Marty and John, we've been talking just kind of amongst ourselves. Like there's the threesome here. There's a solid machine happening. Like the three of us we're like a solid line in any sport. Right. And then you have come in and fuck AJ, you've come in and you just add value, man. Just drops of value every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And like Jory's like, she's like the glue to keep us all together, make sure we're eating properly and dropping the science.
You know what? On a basic human level, the thing I love with Jory, of course, everything you said, Keith, for sure, but she shows up with a very, very nice, welcoming smile every day.
Yeah, totally welcoming. And
no, seriously, there's people don't smile enough. If you break it down, the world is losing their smile.
But it's interesting you bring it up though, John, because there's some humans and some females, Jory, that would say, "What the fuck? Why do men need me to smile?" And I'm just because there are some folks that have that opinion, which are, why do females have to smile to be judged as being kind? And I'm not calling Jory out or you, John, but it's an interesting perspective, because I see, Marty, you're going, yeah, because there's a thing for that. Actually, some folks are like, why the hell do I feel like I have to smile? It's kind of bizarre to me, but there's I think we all feel better when we express ourselves through an exuberant expression.
Yeah. Well, and I personally,
it happens, right?
I'm actually personally working on smiling more myself. And one of the things that I need to do to smile more is be around people who smile more. So Jory, you actually came in at the right time for me, recognizing I need to smile more. Yeah. Come in, smile. I've mentioned this many times. It's been a very genuine comment. You show up with a wonderful smile, especially if I'm going through some emotional, if I'm trudging through some emotional shit, your smile is really powerful.
That's awesome. That's really kind. That's really kind.
Well, and I think the important piece too is that when you have a team, it's making sure that we remind each other of that vitality for living.
Yes.
And that's the joy bucket.
Yes.
Joy isn't happiness. That's different.
Yes.
But joy is vitality for life. And I think that's really what this show brings in, is the vitality for living. Whatever the goal is, it can be looks, it can be emotional, whatever. But I think if we can keep that joy piece going, so even when what's happening in life, we still can be joy-filled living, right? So I think that's really important. And this group does it. This group does it. So it's like, for some people, it's like getting up and working out. For me, it's like getting up and making sure I can hang out, because this is it feeds me too. So.
Well, and Marty and Jory, I've seen John smiling more since he's been on the show, and I've noticed it. I've seen more of your smiles. I see some of the big laughter you have. I'm loving it. And Jory, when I got your text from you this morning, it brought a smile and joy to my life too. So it's
good. So I wasn't annoying.
No, it's great. It's reciprocating all of it. Reciprocating all of it. So, all right, let's get Jory on her day. Jimmy, let's bring in Fontana to see if he survived his run. Marty, I know you got to rock and roll. Fontana, Jory.
Yeah, well, here's Joe.
How did you make it, Fontana?
It was a good run. Good run.
Let's go. Let's go.
What you said was true. It was a great walk back.
Do you feel better?
I feel fucking amazing.
Let's fucking go.
Good.
Boom.
Go. And then I come on and I hear Jory talking about pass the joy bucket, and I couldn't stop but just like, that's a line I'm going to steal in a minute. Pass the joy bucket.
Yes.
That is fucking great. And you know, I just want to add a point to you guys were talking about earlier about passing accountability on, like how our children help us.
Yes.
My son, just for the fact of like, hey, pops, you can't quit smoking. Quit with the language in front of him, just bad habits that I know would have led for him to be down the shitty path that I had when I was a kid. Fucking great show. Great show. And for anybody that's on the fence or seeing this for the first time, this is not a fly-by-night fancy. These guys come every fucking day like this. Days when they don't feel like it, days when they have dealt with personal tragedies. I think one of the second times I was on this show, John had horrible fucking tragedy after horrible fucking tragedy. He didn't cry, he didn't bitch and moan. He came in, helped everybody, helped himself by, I'm sure, by doing that. And owe you a lot, boys. Steak dinners are on me when you're in New York.
Beautiful.
Joe, let me quick question, brother. Quick question. Here's what I'm really wanting to know is, do you think that this may be one of your tools in your arsenal that you could use regularly when you wake up and you have that, as you call it, rage? Because now you know how to take and use that to your advantage. It's almost like when you wake up and you feel it coming, like, thank you, rage, you're here because I have the energy to go do this. Because doing that's not an easy task. But if you're fulfilled with rage, that task's probably pretty fucking easy.
Oh, fuck yeah. Mental health is a journey. It's not a destination. I've helped a ton of guys through their mental health issues because it's something that I struggled with and found a lot of tools that can help me. But here I am flirting with 50 and finding a tool that had never been in my box.
Hey, you found me.
Yeah. So you're a great tool in my box. I know that sounds.
I'm the tool.
But another tool now is
John Anderson.
Wake up, and the first fucking thing you're going to do is throw on a pair of sneakers. If you're in your boxer shorts and a t-shirt, that's all you're going to do, and you're going to sprint until you feel like fucking puking.
Yeah.
Until the drill instructor's screaming over you to get the fuck up, walk back, and just. I feel like I shed 10 years off, John. Almost.
So here's it. Let me just say one thing, brother, just so that the kind of the trigger for this whole thing would be you wake up, you feel that rage coming on, say, thank you for showing up today.
Yeah.
Because you've given me the energy to go do this difficult task that's going to give me a fucking amazing day. So thank you. Please come again tomorrow.
Hoorah.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff, man. Fontana, I got to tell you, brother, I didn't expect our show to go this way. We've had a tremendous show, and you've been a big part of it, brother. I hope that I can tell that we've had an impact on you. You've had an impact on us. And like I said, my friend, you know how to start your morning.
Everybody listening, these guys are not bullshit.
You know where we are.
And just one last thing you guys were talking about, the power of a smile, just smiling into a mirror.
Yes.
I train sales guys for a living. And even in this day and age, with the age of computers and everything, when you're sitting there and you're having a conversation with somebody, put a small compact mirror behind your computer, behind your camera, and smile. That's going to come off in your words, in your actions, in your communications. I need to apologize to Amy Reinhardt. I think she's actually watching. She wanted to take a couple of pictures the other day. We met in person, and man, do I have a face made for radio.
Oh, hey, before you go, I want to introduce you to somebody.
Do you want to see how horrible these pictures look? I took a couple of pictures with Amy Reinhardt, and I was like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, you do have a face for radio.
Great $1 million smile, and I'm like Chandler from Friends, like.
All right, Joe, before you go, man, I want to introduce you to somebody. His name is Christopher Martin. He's one of our co-hosts on the show, a.k.a. See Marty Fit.
Murphy Martin, I believe.
I don't know about that
Every time I
one.
come on, I'm just going to call you another word that starts with C.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be Carl next week.
That's it.
Carl,
That's it.
Chad Murphy. I like Chad Murphy the best.
Chad Murphy.
Beautiful, beautiful.
All right, fellas, I got a jet, man.
Marty, you get out of here, bro. You go have
Yes,
Fontana, I know you got to rock and roll as well, pal. You have yourself an awesome day, Fontana. I'll talk to you later, okay, brother?
Yes,
John,
sir, man.
Christopher Michael, I'll see you soon.
All right, I see y'all, man.
Have a good look, brother.
See you, Marty.
too.
All right, you got Keith. Yeah.
Hey, Mark. Oh, he's gone. That's all right. I'll tell you, All right, so check it out. One of the things I was just going to point out real quick, and this is a huge compliment to you, Marty, is that a person, you, who has put into work, who's developed himself, he takes pride in his name. And when, sometimes when people they're called by a different name, especially somebody like, a famous rapper, they'll take that identity real quick. Marty was like, no, I'm fucking Chris. He'll pick Curtis and push that away, even though Curtis is a fucking billionaire. He's developed his name and he takes pride in his name. And I just want to say, brother, fucking right on.
Yeah. 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 Jimmy helping the fort.
Oh, you got me. Yeah. I was gonna say, mate, you think I get up at 3 something every day and work my ass off for somebody to call me the wrong name? Exactly. You got the wrong. Yes. You got the wrong motherfucker.
That's exactly right, brother. And I just wanted to say, for people that didn't understand that, that's what was going on there.
Yes,
I mean,
sir,
how many times have you seen someone that gets called Curtis, and somehow 50 Cent and they'll just take that identity. They'll trade themselves in a fucking heartbeat. You were like, you were choking that back like, fuck, man.
I was trying to, because of the situation.
I can feel it, brother.
I was trying to let him have it.
I was like, my young brother's taking a drink of this right now. He's choking back what he wants to spit out,
Yes, sir. All right, man.
Good shit, my brother. I just want to say I recognize it, brother. You just keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to make me and Keith look like fucking small change when you get up to our age.
True. Oh, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, you're hanging out with Curtis, Kevin, and Jeff.
Have a good loop, brother.
You too.
Friends. You got Kevin, you got Jeff, you got Kurt, you got
See y'all next loop, man. See y'all.
That's it, man.
And you got producer Jeff, and you got everybody, and we got Rick Klutke calling me a tool. But Klutke, you don't even know. I'm just Klutke. Yes, I can be a tool, 100%. All right, we got Holly Taylor joining us in a couple of minutes here. Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass out of bed. I invite you to subscribe to our channel. We're on X, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're all over the planet. We go live every single day at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and then we create content to be ubiquitous, gentlemen. We are ubiquitous. You will find us on Substack, you'll find us on Threads, you'll find us on Blue Sky, you'll find us on every social platform, and then we do it again tomorrow. Every single morning. Our intention to help you guys get up. Mike Smart, I see you there in the comments. Good morning, brother. Good to have you here this morning. Who else we got here this morning? We got Klutke. We got, I don't know if Adam Holroyd didn't show up this morning. Adam, if you see you there, I see you there. Good time. Good to have you here this morning as well. And Holly, we have you muted on one of the feeds there, Jimmy. Didn't see that, Jimmy. Can you put that up there again, pal? But let's do it. Johnny, I got to tell you, man, just quick before we bring Holly in here, Jory is I just feel like she's bringing more gold every single day.
Yeah, she's a good part of the team for sure.
Absolutely good part of the team. Holly Taylor is joining us here this morning. Good morning, Holly. How are you this morning?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Oh, we got you muted on the vertical there, Holly. If you can just get yourself unmuted there, that would be awesome.
And Keith, just so you know, I got to go in about 8 minutes.
Sounds good, brother. Yeah. Bring Holly in here.
And you got to cut me loose for a piss if I'm going to make this last 8 minutes, too.
John's going to get out for a piss. We're going to bring Holly Taylor in and get to know Holly. Holly, I got you here now.
Okay. Sounds good. Glad to be here.
How are you this morning, Holly Taylor, and where are you joining us from today?
I'm doing well. I'm actually in Louisiana today. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, but I'm back home in Louisiana visiting some friends and family.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. I know we celebrated you a couple weeks back on the Creator Spotlight. You are the salty girl on LinkedIn. You create some great content, and I loved your post you made there. Something like, you're out for older men, I think was the post or something like that. You had a great hook about that. But Holly, we got you here this morning to celebrate somebody in your orbit, which we're going to get to in a couple of minutes. But tell Business Athlete Nation about you and how folks can learn about you and what gets you out of bed every single day, Holly Taylor.
Yeah, so I hang out on LinkedIn, and that's where you can find me most. And I was in the military for 26 years. I've stumbled through transition into civilian life, trying out a lot of different things. And now I'm I've got my own business. I have a couple businesses, actually. I started out as a virtual assistant, and I have a mobile spray tanning business out of Birmingham called the Salty Spray.
Yeah.
And now I am launching the Salty Success Lab for other veterans like me who are having a hard time, either one, deciding whether or not they want to get out of the military, or two, what are they going to do if they do get out?
Oh, man. Oh, you're just dropping nuggets here. I don't even know where to start. So let's start in the military. So what did you do in the military, Holly?
Oh gosh, so many things, Keith.
Yeah.
I started out in logistics, kicking boxes in a warehouse.
Yes.
Went to be a paralegal.
Yes.
And then I became an officer. When I very first got commissioned, I was a security officer. So I hung out with the detainees out in Guantanamo Bay. And and then I transitioned again to an admin officer. Did 2 tours on an aircraft carrier, and 26 years.
So pardon my language, hold the fucking horses here. You hung out with all the bad guys in Guantanamo Bay?
Twice.
Yeah, I heard that too. I was like, come on, I want to hear some more of this.
Johnny Anderson, we got a tough broad in our shoulder.
That's like North Korea stuff right there.
That is heavy shit, Holly. Come on, give us some nuggets about Guantanamo Bay.
I honestly think I could write a book about that place. It was scary. You know, when I first got there, I tried to be tough and like, oh, this is, I got to show everybody I'm tough. But that first time I had to walk down that cell block, it was pretty scary. But I was there.
Tell us about that moment.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm going to keep a stern look on my face. I'm not going to look them in the eye, and I'm just going to walk down the block.
Just keep moving, baby.
Yeah. And one night I got a call from one of my peers, and he was like, Holly, these detainees don't like you. He said, they said, if you keep walking down with the stern look on your face and looking mean, they're going to throw shit on you. And I was like, oh God, what do I do?
What? They're going to do what?
Throw shit on me.
That's what I thought you said.
And I'm thinking actually shit, right? Like they're going to.
That's what they did. Yeah. They do. I didn't
throw a turd.
But they do. Yeah.
Fucking nuts, man.
But anyway, I just watched my peer, and he, how he walked down and he acknowledged, good morning, good evening, how are you? And so I just started doing that. They just wanted you to acknowledge them. And,
like a respect thing, Holly, literally walking down it, even though I will role play with you, even though I'm a bad guy behind the bars, I'm expecting you to respect me as a human being. So I don't throw shit at you. That's basically what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Man, my respectometer, John Anderson, for our guest here has just gone through the freaking roof because to hang out in Guantanamo. First of all, so what was the call like when you're like, hey, Holly, we're moving you to Guantanamo? You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, what was that moment like?
Well, so, I went from, I was enlisted and I was a paralegal. And so when I applied for a commission as an officer, there was no commission to be a paralegal as an officer. So I had to either choose security or admin, and I didn't want to sit behind a desk. So I chose security. And it just happened to be at the same time that Guantanamo Bay was,
coming to life. Yeah.
Yep. And they were like, we need most of our security people over in Guantanamo Bay. And so I was like, well, I'll do whatever I need to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service to your country, and thank you for putting yourself out there. So, Holly, you would have been around as 9/11 happened, and you would have been in the military when 9/11 happened, because Guantanamo opened up the day after. I'm obviously sensationalizing the statement a little bit, but 9/11 happened, Guantanamo opened. You were in that period of American history.
Yeah. So when 9/11 happened, I had just become a paralegal, and I was going to an operational unit. They call them the CBs. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're like the construction part of the Navy.
Yes.
And I went to the CBs, and that's when 9/11 happened. And they were like, we're probably going to deploy to Iraq because we supplement the Marines.
Yes.
And that bad guy over in Iraq left bridges he left the Tigris and Euphrates with no bridge, and the Marines needed bridges to get across, so the CBs were called up. And so I was with that first wave that went to Iraq. We sat on the border of Kuwait for several months. I'll never forget when Bush gave him 48 hours to tell us where the weapons were. He didn't do it.
You were there.
I was there.
I remember all that, and I remember when oh, God help him, Colin Powell went on CNN and showed all the WMDs that didn't exist and all that mess that happened during that time. And you were right in the middle of that, Holly Taylor.
Yeah. Yep, right there, sitting on the border, practice, training, waiting for the call. And we finally got the call. It was like 2:00 in the morning. I'll never forget because I was on watch and we had to pack up everything and go forward. And I deployed to Iraq twice with that unit.
Wow. So I'm going to fast forward because I know Johnny's got to rock and roll. Also is a spray tanner. And I know John through your life of bodybuilding and wrestling and strongman, especially bodybuilding, you've been exposed to the spray tanning world of Holly Taylor.
Yeah. Standing there with a little sock on my junk, having some lady on her hands and knees spraying up under my legs was a very, very common experience.
Oh, God.
So we're going from Guantanamo Bay to Kuwait to Holly going, yes, I've been in that situation before where there's a man standing in front of me with his package covered up in a sock and I'm just spraying. Holly, how did you get into the spray tan business?
Well, I love to get spray tanned, and I just thought I wanted to learn how to do it, and I thought it would be a good way to make money, and it's a good way to meet people. And I've just been doing it for 6 months, and I've met so many people. Like, honestly, the other day I spray tanned a neurosurgeon at the local hospital. Like, I've met so many good people doing it, so I just love it. It's fun.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. Johnny, before you rock and roll, any questions for Holly before I walk you out of here? And then we're going to get to the creator spotlight. Johnny.
I can't say any questions, but I would say just keep kicking butt, lady. You are an inspiration.
Completely.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, John, really. Holly, share with John and I before John goes, what's your morning routine look like, Holly?
First thing I get up, I drink about 16 ounces of water, and then I hit the gym. It's either strength training or walking, and I always follow that with a walk. And normally it's outside as long as it's not in the teens. Yeah. And then get dressed, all dressed for success, no matter I'm just sitting in my house or going to do whatever. That's how I get my day started.
That's awesome. Mike Smart's coming in commenting, I love your energy. And we got Rick Klecki coming in. Your energy is very contagious, Holly. I got to tell you. Have you always been a beast? And I mean that as a compliment. You always, like, since a young child, you've been all like this, I got to get up and I got to go and I got to accomplish shit. Like you're a beast. I'm telling you.
Yes. I don't know where it comes from, but yeah, I've always been that way. I've always been driven.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. That's awesome. All right. Well, listen.
I got to jump, brother. Yeah,
I know you do. So Johnny's going to get out of here, and then Holly, you and I are going to continue with the Creator Spotlight, which is why we brought you on. So Johnny, I love you, brother. Have a great weekend, Loop. And
have a great pleasure to meet you, Holly. Keep kicking butt.
Thank you.
All right. So Johnny's going to rock and roll out of here, and at this point, little sound effect. Holly, here's where we turn our attention to somebody who you are thinking is doing great work, who might share a name with me.
Yes. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So he's a young man, probably as handsome as I am, probably as strikingly good looking as I am. Right, Jimmy? Right, producer Jimmy? So Holly, we have somebody. I'm going to just pull up my notes here in front of me. So listen, here's how we're going to go about this. What if your next adventure wasn't just a getaway, but a gateway to stronger teams, deeper connections, and memories that last a lifetime? From custom metal gates under the Hawk's Nest at Lumen Field to the glacier blue waters of the Canal River, this dude has mastered the art of blending hard work with wild adventure, which is why I'm thinking Holly is celebrating this person because she knows something about hard work. As the leader of, he's spent decades building more than just custom metalworks and HVAC solutions. He's built a culture of giving back, teamwork, and resilience. And as the co-owner of the Alaska Kenai Adventures, he's taking that same passion to help others explore the last frontier. So Mike Smart, are your ears perking up? Rick Kletke, your ears perking up? You guys all wondering who we're going to celebrate today? We're going to spend some time here celebrating somebody who is Jimmy. I got the horizontal. I'm just getting it set up right now. We're celebrating somebody the same name as me. Yep, true story. A second-generation business leader, a lifelong adventurer, and the host. No, not the host of Mornings in the Lab. That's me. He's the host of an all-inclusive retreat that combines the best of Alaska's beauty with team building and relaxation through Johansson Mechanical. This fellow, Jimmy, we are going to celebrate this morning. Holly Taylor, we're going to celebrate this morning. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Keith Johansson. There we go. Yes. Keith Johansson. He delivers industry-leading HVAC and custom metalwork solutions, champions of culture, giving back to sport families and communities through Alaska Kenai Adventures. He hosts unforgettable corporate retreats. You got to have us up there, Keith, and family trips on the world-famous Kenai River. Holly Taylor, why did you choose to celebrate Keith Johansson this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends?
You know, just like I told you, I love to spray tan so I can connect with people. I love LinkedIn for the same thing. And Keith is one of my newest connections, and I just love what he's doing. My very first duty station in the Navy was Alaska, Adak, Alaska, and I did some deep sea fishing there. And Keith and I just hit it off. We've been messaging back and forth. I've been helping him with some content, and I just love what he's doing. He's connected me with other people. I mean, right after this meeting, I have a meeting with another girl that I met through Keith. And so I just wanted to highlight him.
Oh, I don't blame you. I'd want to highlight him too, actually. Hey, Johansson, I want to come and hang out up in Alaska with you. So I'm just saying, man, love to have we could do the morning show from up there. I want to go to Alaska. I have a strong desire to get up there. Holly, you've been up there, have you?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I've only been like to Anchorage and then had to fly. Adak, if you look at the Aleutian chain, Adak is probably the last little speck out in the ocean. So it's about a 4-hour flight from Anchorage. But
man. So Keith Johansson, we are celebrating you this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And here's how it works, Mr. Johansson. Here's how it works. So we celebrated Holly a couple weeks back. We got Holly on the show to pay it forward. So Keith, we would love to have you on here on the show so we can celebrate somebody in your orbit to keep paying it forward. There's not enough kindness in this world. There's just not enough kindness. So we've created this spotlight called Creator Spotlight so we can find these awesome humans that are making great content. And we take the big old Mornings in the Lab light and crank it right up and shine it brightly and say, hey, Holly Taylor, you're doing awesome work. We want to celebrate you. Hey, Keith Johansson, you're doing awesome work. We want to celebrate you. And Holly, I get the greatest joy when we surprise folks like we surprise you, and you start your day and all of a sudden you get a notification on LinkedIn and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? There's this morning show talking about me. So I know that Keith Johansson is going to go through it today. And I love that moment because there's nothing like being surprised for a positive, fun reason with no agenda other than just having some fun. You follow me?
I agree, Keith. That's awesome. It's an amazing feeling. I wish I could be a fly on the wall when Keith hears his name. Yes.
Holly, I know we got to rock and roll out of here. I have thoroughly enjoyed my brief time with you. I would love to have you back. I want to have you back with John and Marty. I think we can have some further conversations with you. You have a lot to say. I love your story. I love your journey. I love what you've been up to. What do you got going on today? What do you got going on over the weekend? And tell us a little bit about what got the rest of the day today, Holly.
I have a few meetings this morning, and I work from mobile. I work from home. I do work for a law firm, so I've got some law work to do this morning.
You got a real job then.
Yeah, I'm a virtual assistant for them, but more like a paralegal. Yeah. But I'm at home in my hometown, and one of my best friends, it's her birthday, and so we're going to dinner. We're going to a fancy dinner tonight. Tomorrow we're going to hang out. I rented a VRBO, and we're just going to live it up.
Dude, yeah. What's for dinner tonight?
We're going to this restaurant called White Lightning. I've never been, but I can't wait to go see it, check it out. She said there's live music. We'll have some drinks and good food and conversation.
I love your energy. I love the energy you bring. It's a lot of fun. How's your journey on LinkedIn been, Holly?
It's been really good. It's slow, but you learn as you go. And I feel like I've done a really good job. I'm almost at 5,000 followers, and I feel like I've really, I don't comment on people's stuff just to comment. I comment on stuff that I really like. Now, I did not start out that way. I wanted, I was like chasing the LinkedIn dream. Yes. And I've just kind of learned to throttle back and be authentic and be my best self. And I think that's what's going to get you the furthest. And I want to help other military veterans do the same thing.
Oh, that's magic. That's magic. I'm a fan. Holly Taylor, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of yours, big fan of the content you're putting out there. And I love the energy you've brought to the show this morning. I know we're a morning show for men, but hey, obviously we bring exceptional women on as well. And it makes us all make the world go around, right? So thanks for hanging out with me this morning.
Thanks, Keith. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been so fun. I love your energy as well.
Thank you. You come back again, and you. So I got to ask you, and I'm not looking for any serving. I'm certainly by no means looking for platitudes, but it always strikes me with curiosity because I know we're doing something different, and I know that humans judge a book by its cover. But I got to ask. So all of a sudden you get this notification. There's this goofy morning show happening. You're like, was it this WTF? Is this? Was that kind of that first reaction?
No, honestly, I was just like, oh, let me check this out because I just love different people. LinkedIn can be stuffy with the suit and tie and professional, and it doesn't have to be that way. And I just loved your energy. As soon as I can't even remember how I found you. You must have commented on somebody's post. I don't know how you got in my feed, but as soon as I saw you, I started following you. And then when I saw that you highlighted me, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. So I just love it.
I appreciate that. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate your energy you bring to the table as well. We'd love to have you back and have some bigger conversations, further conversations with you. And so the previous show I had before I started Mornings in the Lab was called Live in the Lab with Keith Billis. It was a long 60, 75 minute, 90 minute sit down. I love those chats because the moment you said I went to Guantanamo Bay, my brain goes, well, my listeners want to know about that. I had a guy on my show, Holly. He was on my show about a year ago. He was here to talk about biocentric lighting, his business, right? So we're talking about that, and while he's telling me his biocentric lighting journey, he let slip that he was selling F-18 fighter jets for the U.S. military, and I'm like, hold on a second, did you just say? He's like, yeah. I'm like, we're not fucking talking about biocentric lighting anymore. Nope. My audience all wants to hear about what it's like to sell fighter jets to Egypt and to Turkey. Like, what's that all about? So I enjoy the long in depth. I'm a big fan of the moment behind the moment behind the moment. Like when you told me you're walking down the galleyway, the walkway of Guantanamo, like it makes me curious about what was going on in your mind when you had to walk through the door the first time, what's going through your mind the second time. Like that's just fascinating shit to me, man. It really is. That's stuff we don't talk about because we're humans. Like, were you scared? Did you sleep the night before? You know, was there some guy fucking jerking off in the corner because there's a woman walking by? Like the shit you see, right? And you're like, and I'm like, and then what leads me to ask, like, who are you to put yourself in that position to say, yeah, I'm going to be this one? Fascinating stuff to me, Holly. Fascinating to me. Yeah. You know,
appreciate it. I would love to talk more about it. And I can tell you what it's like to fly in the back seat of an F-18 because I've got 21 hours.
Oh, producer Jimmy, we are bringing back Holly. Rights VR. Yes, can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking rights, man. Yes. All right, Holly, you get on to your meeting. I loved having you in the show this morning. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a good day.
You too. All right, Jimmy, let's walk Holly out of the lab here, and we're going to keep the show rocking and rolling here. I'm going to start to wrap it up here. Woo, baby. Woo, baby. I knew it was going to be a fun day, Jimmy. I knew it was going to be. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. And it was fun. Man, the energy, the crowd that showed up this morning, I'm appreciative of all of you. Let me just take a moment to say this. I know y'all have choices. We got a lot of places to put our attention. Lots of choices. And a lot of choices of bigger budgets than Uncle Keith over here. But the fact that you guys choose to join me and join Marty and join John and join Holly Taylor, join producer Jimmy, Mike Smart, Rick Kletke, all the team that comes here and hangs out with us in the morning. I don't know how to say it any better than thank you. I love you guys. I can't do this if you guys don't show up and listen. I can't build a business to say to somebody, hey, people are showing up, listen to our show. Yeah, I know we're not in the millions and the gazillions, but we will be. And I always talk about the fact that, right now we are in the coffee clubs, moving to the concert halls, moving to the arenas before we make our way to SoFi Stadium. But we can't do that if you guys don't choose to spend time with us. So whether it's 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, the fact that you guys decide to select Mornings in a Lab with Keith and Friends, the fact that you guys choose to subscribe and come and hang out with us, man, it just fills me with gratitude. So I just, again, as we end this loop, Fontana, the kind words of what we offer up here every single day, it's what we do. So I'm grateful. And I just want to ensure you all understand how full of gratitude I am for you guys hanging out with us. Because like I said, this doesn't happen. This isn't, my name's on the banner. Yes, I'm the shepherd. Yes, I'm the conduit of conversation. But a conversation doesn't happen with one. A conversation has to happen with many. So thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you all for continuing to commit. If you haven't subscribed yet, I welcome you to subscribe. And listen, if you haven't found me in any other platforms, I invite you to find us on LinkedIn, on X, on Threads, on Blue Sky, anywhere. That's where we are. Content to help you achieve what's next in your life. Don't shoot for a goal. A goal has an end date. Shoot for a milestone and then shoot for the next one. And what I promise you, every single morning you show up with us, we're going to give you content. We're going to give you nuggets. We're going to give you inspiration to keep moving to next. You're not going to get motivation from us. No. We're going to help you develop discipline. And that discipline goes every single 24 hours. And we call it The Loop. And we call it Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. The only morning show, man. That's it. The only morning show to help you guys get up and get rolling. And Scott Benzie, yes, you have been here from the beginning, and I appreciate that, brother. I really do. And when we're all sitting in SoFi Stadium in the future, all my cronies, Benzie and Kletke and Smart and all you guys are all front row. You guys are all on stage with me, man, because we're all doing this together. I am simply the shepherd. That's it. I'm the shepherd. I know my role. I'm the shepherd. I can't do this without all of you. So on behalf of myself and Marshall, John Anderson, Christopher Martin, Jory Jansen, bringing nuggets, guys. Listen, you guys got questions about nutrition and wellness. You're not going to get, you're paying for the shit if you want Jory. You're getting it free here on the show. You want that information from John Anderson? You're paying thousands of dollars from John Anderson. You got a free accountability show every single day, guys. That's how it goes. We're going to get out of here, Jimmy. I got work to do. You guys got work to do. So, on behalf, yes, baby, on behalf of producer Jimmy, the community guy, Tommy, Mike Smart, Rick Kletke, John Anderson, Curtis Martin. What's up, C. Marty? I'm your host. I'm Keith Billis. I'm going to get out of here. Got to go do some work, guys. We'll see you guys back on Monday where we re-begin the loop. Come find me on the weekend. Come find me on one of the platforms. Let's chat. And for those of you that have my number, don't text me. All joking aside. I'll see you guys in the feeds, and I'll see you in my messages. Have a good one, nation. I'll see you guys on Monday.